Hey homie, I heard you were an Israelite.
Young Desert.
You will listen.
Uno to the dos, to the tres. Cuatro to the cinco, to the seis. That way. When you double up, that's la docena. Dime, como se dice, that's a threat. Hace calor. Doce, 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 doce. Super Hebrew got my father with me. That's why these clowns don't wanna bother with me. You best believe I got a bottle with me. And you can bet it ain't no less than 50. Que onda, hago esto por mi raza. Todas estas otras razas son caca. Soy Israelita, that's on French gang. We pulling up shooting from mid-range. Tribal society, we 12 much. No apologies, no running with our tails tucked. No. 10 tribes, time to stand up. Israel, it's time to man up. Uno to the dos, to the tres. Cuatro to the cinco, to the seis. When you double up, that's la docena. Dime, como se dice, that's a threat. Hace calor. Doce, 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 doce.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My spirit shine brighter than the VVS. Ice finna to pour me back to Israel. Soy Hebreo, Israelita, that's my DNA. Ops plotting on us, all on every corner. I feel like you were ancient, infiltrated, now we're covenant. I see my people fell off. Touchdown in the kingdom, turned out they would sell out. I'm a killer, feel like Godzilla. Make you see this give up, they been waiting for us. Waking up celebs, I do harder than El Chapo. Kingdom over everything, you know we hit the lotto.
Uno to the dos, to the tres. Cuatro to the cinco, to the seis. When you double up, that's la docena. Dime, como se dice, that's a threat. Hace calor. Doce, 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 doce.
Docena tras docena, conoce tu condena, pena de muerte. Any doubts, juega tu suerte. In this realm, no salga muerte. Yahweh's precepts, lo que suena fuerte. Second coming, second death. No chance of running, you out of breath. 12 gates, align with the tribus, the real bros. 12, oh shit, like roses, risen from the concreto. Minorities here to take it all. Un tercio, dispensa, no libre comercio. So if y'all ain't down with y'all's biz, just quit. Nothing to lose about it. My 12 familias bout it.
Uno to the dos, to the tres. Cuatro to the cinco, to the seis. When you double up, that's la docena. Dime, como se dice, that's a threat. Hace calor. Doce, 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 doce.
Hey, Paisa, I heard you were an Israelite.
Are you ready to be heard? Learn music production online at the Los Angeles Recording School, a division of the Los Angeles Film School. Learn how to mold your music into a career while protecting and promoting your songs. Our program is delivered 100% online, giving you schedule flexibility and support from instructors and peers. Graduates from our school have worked with Beyonce, Rihanna.
You know what I'm trying to do. Still love you and it is true. You know what I'm trying to do. Still love you and it is true. I'ma keep it real. Come with me if you're trying to build. And we could be one flesh. We could be one flesh. Israelite love, this is not love. No Romeo and Juliet, that ain't us. This the death do us part when we make love. 12 tribes never do too much. One flesh, gotta keep in touch. Ay. And we should be one flesh.
Baby said she looking for love, but love and lust. Keep it 100, that ain't the one I'm trying to trust. Baby girl, this ain't no new thing. Lil' mama, get it right, you trying to be my boo thing, huh? got the Chanel and she be rocking Dior. But vanity won't help you be blessed. Get your spirit right, then we can be one flesh.
We could be one flesh. Israelite love, this is not love. No Romeo and Juliet, that ain't us. This the death do us part when we make love. 12 tribes never do too much. One flesh, gotta keep in touch. Ay. And we should be one flesh.
I really wanna know what's up with you, yeah. Certain things clear to see, you wanna build with me, but it's up to you, yeah. I know you wanna blush for me, lust in me, build trust with me. If you ain't with the word, then you're not for me. If you is, go ahead and tie the knot with me. I know it's different on the west side, feeling yourself. You wanna build with me cause I'm repping the 12. Ferragamo ain't a thing, you got that on the shelf. You need a righteous man who gon' lead you from hell. Shorty looking for a change now. Know them blessings coming hard, watch it rain down. Found a lily in your garden, we can play around. You got a kingdom and a crown if you stay down.
You know what
Baby
I'm
girl,
trying
stay
to
down.
do. So life you ain't in this true. Aqua, I'ma keep it real. Come with me if you're trying to build. And we could be one flesh. We could be one flesh. Israelite love, this is not love. No Romeo and Juliet, that ain't us. This the death do us part when we make love. 12 tribes never do too much. One flesh, gotta keep in touch. Ay. And we should be one flesh.
I'm a real when I be in the field. Salute. I don't want no drama, girl, I'm tryna build. Yep. I heard you single like a dollar bill. I heard you looking for a patient and I'm kinda ill. No coronavirus, take that mask off. True beauty, fake booty, since that don't appeal. Tryna conceive when I blast off. Need an air to bear my name if you're how I will. J Eunice when we tryna chill. That fire water when I'm tryna kill. That daily bread, I gotta get it. Be a worker, be a business, all 7 tryna get a meal. Me and my Akim, yeah, we jail, get your bars up. This prophecy, don't let nobody say this all luck. These worldly jakes, baby, all they wanna do is fuck. But open up to me and we could be one flesh.
We could be one flesh. Israelite love, this is not love. No Romeo and Juliet, that ain't us. This the death do us part when we make love. 12 tribes never do too much. One flesh, gotta keep in touch. Ay. And we should be one flesh.
Earn your software development degree online at DeVry. With over 85 years of driving tech innovation, you'll learn Python programming skills, intro to AI, machine learning concepts, and more to help you achieve your software developer goals. Power your future at devry.edu.
Pimp gang, and I would like to do.
Yeah, you see, because I gotta be at church every Sunday, because my pastor said that Jesus is every color, okay? I'm saved. I know I'm saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, okay? I know all about the laws. We do all of that. I already know about the Sabbath. The Sabbath is on Sunday.
Niggas stand up in the pulpit and tell me lies. He must be high if he expect for me to pay these tithes. Knocking women on their ass, yeah, they call that a pimp. Your members trying to pay their rent, your pockets fat as a blimp. Brothers wearing neckties, that's the mark of a simp. This is the law to know her place, but her man is a wimp. Pastor talking like he British, and you know what's worse? He been preaching for an hour and ain't read one verse. Queers all up in the choir, beer to sing.
Basic understanding for Israel, basic doctrines for Israel. So today, what we're going to be dealing with is what happens to the 2/3. And this lesson comes due to, there's teachings out there that says that even the 2/3 will be saved. Let's get Romans 11:26, and let's see, as it pertains to the scriptures, what it is, what scriptures they use, what reasoning they have, to say, no, all of Israel is going to be saved, even the wicked. And let's go ahead and give the proper understanding. So we'll start at 26, Romans 11 and 20. Actually, we're only going to read 26.
26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Sion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So it says all of Israel's going to be saved. I'm sorry, read verse 27.
For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins.
So it said they shall take away, Yashimai, somebody's at the door. So it said that they're going to take away the sin of Israel, and all of Israel is going to be saved, right? But let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see what the true understanding is. Let's go ahead and see how the Most High feels about the 2/3. Let's go ahead and see if all of Israel is actually going to be saved. So let's go to Amos. Let's go to Amos 9. So I want to hit Amos chapter 9. Shalom up. And we're going to start at verse 9. We're going to get Amos 9, 9, and 10. I know, right?
Amos chapter 9, verse 9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among the nations. Among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Read.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
So the scriptures say all of the sinners of Israel will die by the sword, right? Read.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
So the scriptures are telling you. It says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among the nations. So this is prophecy. It says, like corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Verse 10 says, and all the sinners of my people, all the sinners of Israel, they're going to be put to death. They're going to be destroyed, right? Now, here's the understanding. Here's the thought process behind it. Okay, yeah, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be killed. But, watch this. Follow me. But in the kingdom, they're going to come back. They're going to be regenerated. Well, that just doesn't make sense. But let's go ahead and actually deal with the understanding so we can see why it doesn't make sense. Let's go to Zechariah. I want to get Zechariah real quick. The actual 2/3 scripture. Zechariah chapter 13. And I want to start at 7.
Zechariah chapter 13, verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
So, scriptures show you, that was verse 8, right? Okay, read verse 9.
Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God.
So we see here that the Most High is going to get rid of the wicked of Israel. It said, verse 8, it says, and it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of the nation, because it goes on to specify, 2/3 are going to be cut off and they're going to be killed off. They're going to die, right? It says, and I will bring, but the third shall be left therein. So there's going to be a third that makes it. Let's see what he says about that third. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. He's going to try them. It says, and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God. So these are going to be the individuals that sincerely repent, sincerely get right, and say, we're going to follow the ways of the Most High. So again, we see that they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be cut off. But let's go to Revelation. I want to go to Revelation real quick. because I want to establish foundation. Revelation chapter 20. And I want to read, we're going to start at verse 12. And we're going to read to the end.
Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High. And the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life.
So it said the Most High saw, John the Revelator saw, it was a vision. He said, I saw both small and great. He said, all of the dead. And he said, and then there were some books open. The books of your name, and it was the books of the law, right? Or the book of life, which is referencing, the law and salvation. So it says, so 2 books were open, right? Read.
And another book was opened, which is the book of life.
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books.
So it said we were judged out of the things that were in this book. How did you match up to what it is that you were supposed to be doing, right? Read.
According to their works.
Read.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works.
So everybody, no matter where they were, in the seas, in the grave, everybody came on this day to judgment. And it said, in the book of their works were lined up with the book of life, and everything that was written in it, right? Read.
Verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
Read.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life.
So now, whoever ain't do their works according to the Most High, ain't do their works according to righteousness, according to the law, what happened?
Was cast into the lake of fire.
Was cast into the lake of fire. And I'm going to jump over really quick to yeah, let's go ahead and jump over really quickly to 21 and verse 8.
21 and 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part.
Hold on. It says shall have their part in what?
In the lake.
So what was referencing in verse 15, Revelations 20 and 15, they're going to have their part in the lake, right? Read.
Which burneth with fire and brimstone.
Right. Now watch this.
Which is the second death.
Which is the spiritual death, the second death, right? So it ain't no situation where, oh no, but they're going to come out of this, the lake of fire, and they're going to be placed back into the kingdom with us. No. It says this is the second death. And this second death, it wasn't like it was temporary. Okay, it's going to be a little longer, but no, this is it. That is all. The Most High said judgment is starting here in the house of Israel. All the people of the Most High, the sinners of the Most High's people are going to die by the sword. Revelations let you know, look, if you ain't keeping these laws, your works ain't matching up with the book of the law, the book of life, you SOL. You out of luck. It is what it is, right? And it said, and this, when you get cast into this lake, this gonna be the second death. That ain't no, that was just, because they died one time, and then, they got judged, and they just died a second time, but they'll be, no. It's saying, remember, the scriptures talk about fear of the Most High who can kill both the body and the spirit. This is talking about this is it. So you already died physically, and your second death is your spiritual damnation. That's, you done. The lake of fire, that's it, right? But now watch this. Go to Revelation 21. I want 21 and 12.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 12.
Oh, I was like, wait, why did I? Okay, go ahead.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Uh-huh. Oh, I don't need 13. That's because 13 is just going to explain it. So, Revelations 21 and 12 tells you, this is talking about Israel. Same thing over here, because when you go, let's go to 1 Corinthians. I actually should have got that one first, but let's go to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. But when you read Revelations, it's talking about whoever is not keeping the law, whoever is being wicked, and their name is not found. This ain't talking about the other nations. This is talking about Israel. And then 21 goes into it and lets you know the kingdom is going to be inside these 12 gates. It's 12 gates for the 12 tribes to enter in, right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall...
Hold on. It says the unrighteous, the wicked. Read.
Shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?
They not getting into the kingdom. It ain't no, once they're dead, they can come back. No, there was a wicked soul here. They're not allowed into the kingdom. That's not happening, right? Is that it? Or read on.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh.
It says none of these wicked individuals, and this ain't just it, of course, because we got a whole bunch of laws in the Old Testament, in the Torah, that express to you as well. Like in Isaiah 66, it says you get caught slipping eating swine's flesh, the Most High gonna come down here and plead with you with his sword. This ain't no game. So he's basically saying, if you unrighteous, if you ain't moving right, you're not going to make it into the kingdom. It says you're not going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. You are going to be what's known in Revelations 20 and 21 as the lake of fire. And this is specific. Matter of fact, let's deal with it. Let's go to Matthew 1. Matthew 1 and 21. Then we're going to jump over to Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. So 1 and 21.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. As she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
So it said that Christ was going to save his people from their sins. Who are his people? Read that, please. 15 and 24.
15 and 24 of Matthew. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Of who?
Of the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Of the house of the heathen.
Of the house of Israel.
Christ was very particular. He said, I'm here for Israel. I came to save Israel. Flip over to Acts 5, 30 through 31. So again, we see we are the ones, and then you read even in Romans 9, it said it referenced the same thing. Everything was for Israel. The promise, covenant, whom concerning the flesh Christ came. It was all for Israel. So when you talk about sin, because it says the law was given to Israel, and you talk about sin, Israel is the one that will be judged for doing these things, because this was given specifically to us. Read that.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 31.
No, start at 30.
30. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath Yahweh exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
So it says Israel was the one that was going to be able to repent. It was meant for Israel to be repenting, right? So we see in Amos, it says all of the people of the Most High, they're going to be, all the sinners, of the Most High's people will die by the sword. Zechariah said 2/3 of them ain't going to make it. Then Revelations 20 and 21 both show you that this is all dealing with and talking about Israel. It's talking about the sinners, talking about the wicked of Israel, right? And then we see here even Christ said, look, this is who we came for. This is who I came for. This is who I'm dealing with, right? So we know this book is for us, and we see right here that this is what it is. If you ain't moving in righteousness, you're going to be killed, you're going to be destroyed. Revelations 21 tells you this is the second death. This is your spiritual death. This is it. This is your eternal death, right? Because now the question is, Christ came to save Israel. Is all of Israel going to be saved? Let's see. Let's go to Matthew 7. I want to go to Matthew 7. And I want to start at verse 21.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord.
Now hold on. Scriptures tell you all throughout Christ was only talking to Israel. So just let's go ahead and put that in the front. Let me preface this. Christ is talking to Israelites right now, and he's letting them know, not everyone that's gonna come to me that is of my people, because he didn't care about the heathen. He wasn't dealing with the heathen at this time. But he said, not everyone that comes to me saying, Lord, Lord of Israel, right? Read.
shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
He said, just because you, Lord, Lord, oh, right. Matter of fact, read on. Let's deal with it.
But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Watch it. Well, first off, he said you got to keep these laws. If you doing wicked, you not gonna make it. It ain't no, we got murdered when Christ came down and cracked open the sky and everybody was getting put to death and he went to Basra and killed all the Edomites, but we gonna be regenerated back. It's no, you was a wicked ass spirit then. So you not gonna make it into the kingdom because there is no unrighteousness that's going to make it into the kingdom. Christ even said, one, he came for Israel only. Then he's talking to Israel here. He says, not everyone that comes up to me and says, Lord, Lord, oh, Yahweh Shai, oh, Christ, oh my. Right? Watch this. Verse 22.
Verse 22, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils?
This is my favorite part. It said, wasn't we on the block, man? We was putting in work. We was cutting up them demons. We was cutting up them devils. We was bring it out. We was doing all of that, right? He said, didn't we do all of that for you? Wasn't we defending the gospel? Wasn't we defending the word for you? Right? Read.
And in thy name done many wonderful works?
Man, you know, everything we did, man, we was having them cookouts. We was having them family and friends. People was coming in. We was up here teaching. We had this mug packed. We was doing this all for you. He said, many will say, I did all this for you, right? What does he say?
Verse 23, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
He said, who the hell is he? Hey, Michael, he with you? You know him? Right? Read, watch this.
Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Ye that what?
Ye that work iniquity.
Put in all that damn work all you want. He said, get out my face, you wicked as hell. Get out my face, ye that work iniquity. So guess what? The sinners, Amos 9, of my people shall die by the sword. They not going to get into the kingdom. Even Christ was like, Christ, you don't remember? Christ, you don't remember me? We used to be on Florence and Fig. Oh, remember we used to be on Slauson and Western. Remember we was on King and Crenshaw. We was putting in work. We was cutting up people. We was cutting up the Muslims. We was cutting up the Egyptians or the Kemetic community. We was bringing people in. Man, we was putting in work for you. Christ will be sitting there like, you don't know him. Because I don't know him. Maybe you seen him before? Nah. Get him out the line. He gotta go. Get the hell out my line. It's gonna be that simple. It's gonna be just like that because you was street teaching. Yeah, you was behind the table. It said, but depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So you still have wickedness going on. You still have wickedness in your heart. You still have wickedness in your actions, right?
Being disingenuous.
Yeah, being disingenuous. You out here putting in the work, condemning everybody, judging, but you ain't doing righteous judgment in your own house, righteous judgment in your own congregation. When it's somebody near and dear to you, let's we gotta exercise mercy. Like, yeah.
Or since talking about being disingenuous, you didn't do any of the works. You departed. You was out in the middle of nowhere. Kept the commandments on your own. Remember Christ, Paul said, if I did all this and I didn't have charity, I didn't do anything. So, I'm all for preparation. I'm all bug out bag in the trunk. But when you depart and you leave your nation in the cities, where are your works? Who are you doing for?
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's okay, you did a little something before, but now look at you. You're selfish.
People behind. Where was your charity? Where was your willingness Because a lot of what Christ did was sincere. It was genuine. It was whatever I can do to be able to help you. He covered every platform. He educated people. He fed people. He healed people. He provided. He did everything that he possibly could do that was in his hands for his people. So you bug out, even if you are out here, you doing things for the views, doing things for the clout. You doing, you being disingenuous. You're not doing for the people. You're not doing for anybody but yourself. Or even if you are doing a whole bunch of works, but you being disingenuous in it. A whole lot of people use this truth and find the things that they never could find in the world. Gathering fame, clout, gathering people unto them and get a bunch of followers. Ask everybody for $1 once they come in. Get the women, because people want to learn and people trust you with their souls, and you deceive that trust. Man,
but we did many wonderful works in your name.
Nah.
And that's what Christ was like. Does anybody, Gabriel, do you know this nigga? Michael, you know him, no? So none of my angels up here, none of y'all know him. Okay. Yeah. The consensus is get your ass over there. You gotta go over there. And that's literally what it's gonna be, because brothers be thinking like, oh, it's just street teaching. That's the works. No, it's way more than that. Take me to Matthew 13. On Matthew 13. We might actually do a little reading on this one. Matthew 13. And we're gonna read, we're gonna start at verse 23. And we're just gonna read down. Matthew 23:13. I'm sorry, Matthew 13:23.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 23. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth, some an 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Hold on. No. I want the wheat and the tares. That's a little further down. Give me a second. Oh, it's 24? Oh. My bad. Okay.
All good.
We'll start at 24. Go ahead.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
So it says, this is how the kingdom is, right? It says somebody went out, put good seed into the field, right? Read.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
So it said, then there were some bad seeds spread all around as well, right? From the enemy. Read.
And went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the house builder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field?
Mm-hmm.
From whence then hath it tares?
It said, I thought we was doing good. It said, all of this was, we checked this. This is approved, 100% stamped and approved. It got 5-star ratings. How the hell did this stuff come up with it? This ain't supposed to happen. Right? Read.
He said unto them, An enemy hath done this.
He said, we getting sabotaged. Right? Read.
The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn.
So now we're going to get to, we're on 30, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it says, let both grow together until the harvest, right? It says, you know what? It's going to be some bad seeds out there. It's going to be, the matter of fact, drop down to 38. Let's go ahead and jump straight to it.
38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one.
So it said the field is the world. The good seed, which was supposed to be the wheat, it said those are the children of the kingdom, right? It said, what what was placed in the field were the righteous, and then the enemy came and dropped the wicked spirits, right? It says, but the tares of the children of the wicked, verse 39.
Verse 39, the enemy that sowed them is the devil.
So Satan is the one that placed them tares all amongst the righteous, right? Read.
The harvest is the end of the world.
And it said, we're going to let them grow up. We're going to give the tares a chance, metaphorically, to become wheat. So we're going to wait until the harvest, till the angels come and do what they need to do, right? It says the harvest is the end of the world, right? Read.
And the reapers are the angels.
It says in the reapers are the angels, verse 40.
Verse 40, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
Hold on. It says the tares, this is talking about the wicked children, the wicked seed. It said they're going to be what?
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire.
It said we're going to make a separation. We're going to make a distinction. All of the wicked ones, what Revelation refers to as a lake of fire, you guys are going to burn. Right? Read.
So shall it be in the end of this world.
So shall it be in the end of this world. You are going to be destroyed and burned. Ain't no, the new world is coming up. The new Jerusalem is coming back. They'll be back. No, they was wicked as hell then. That is, and then what a lot of us have to think, take me to really quickly. Matthew 25 and 34. And then what we have to think is this. Well, if we're going to be back anyway, what's stopping me from doing what the hell I want to do now? Oh, you're going to be put to death if you don't keep these laws. But guess what? You'll be back during the regeneration. Well, I don't give a, okay. So I'm going to get eternal life then, right? Well, yeah. Well, then who didn't? I can go live it up right now. What's stopping me? Well, because you want to honor the Most High. He's going to love me either way. What's stopping me? I see bad females everywhere. I want some booty. I want to smoke. I want to drink. I want to play certain professional sports that, I have to break the Sabbath. But who the hell cares? You know why? Because I'll be in the kingdom anyway. Only thing is, he's going to come down and kill us all. But hell, he's going to come down bringing vengeance. I'm pretty sure I'm going to die fast. It's not going to hurt. Who cares? What really am I losing out on? That is literally a doctrine that will allow you to commit sin with no repercussions, because it ain't that, you're going to be put to death, you're going to die, and then spiritually you're going to be burning forever. It's, when Yahweh come back and you get judged, you're going to be put to death, but your spirit will be back. You're just burning in a lake of fire for a little bit, and then you're going to get pulled back into the kingdom.
Much more of a minor inconvenience than a real punishment.
Right. It's like a slap on the wrist. It's like, is it burning enough? Is it burning enough? Okay, a couple years later, here you go, you're back. And now you'll be here forever.
I say, really, that's unjust as hell, because for the men that really do dedicate their lives to the truth, that do all this work, I mean, like Paul, he said, I die daily. Paul said that he didn't have a wife. He didn't say he preferred not to have a wife. He said he didn't. But for all the things that he did, for Yahweh Shai to have done, the apostles, all the prophets, all the works that they did, the sacrifices they made.
And they kept the law.
And keeping the law. And it's like, at the end of the day, we all going to get the same reward. They're just going to take a little longer to get in it. It's eternity.
It's essentially saying, well, you stepped out of line, so you got to go back to the back. Man, you'll eventually get in, but, you got to wait your turn. That makes no sense. That is utterly asinine. And that's crazy. So to sit here and say, well, the only thing in Scriptures, when it says my people going to die by the sword, it just means when the Most High come down, He's going to destroy them. Okay, so are they going to the lake of fire? Well, they're going to be put to death, and then when we start rebuilding the kingdom again, they'll be back. They'll be regenerated in innocence and righteousness.
Wake up to Christ like, sorry I had to cut you in half, man. Come on up.
Right? You made me do it. I didn't want to do it, but you were wrong. But now welcome. What? And to sit here and make the argument that you're going to do right just because you know that it's right. If I have no punishment, no serious ramifications, and I can live comfortably and live it up here, go out and have orgies, do coke, whatever the hell I want to do, I'm just going to be put to death and then be able to come back to the kingdom? No. If I'm able to do that, what really is there's nothing really stopping individuals aside from, well, if you sincerely love the Most High. Well, right. And so the question is, what about all these other people who are living unrighteously, who are being lascivious, sleeping around, committing murder? We got a gang of gangbangers that got the heart of Satan himself. These deceivers, these flockers, these extortioners. So they're still going to make it into the kingdom. What about the people that didn't know the truth? Because the scriptures tell you, Romans 2:12, if you don't know the law, you're going to be destroyed without knowing the law. And it says if you knew the law, you're going to be judged by the law. But what that was referencing, it's not saying that, well, you may never know the law and you'll just be destroyed. No, it's because when you go read in Matthew, it says Christ ain't going to come back until this word is put out everywhere. You have absolute access to it. It's up to you whether or not you're going to research it. So if you die and don't know, then that's on you, because you could have researched it. Instead, you decided to make TikTok videos and watch TikTok videos and watch Wildin' Out on YouTube and watch Meg Thee Stallion, the damn Body Yachty challenge. You wasn't trying to figure out what it is that you needed to do. So you're going to be destroyed. That's on you. But the thing is, what about all these girls out here hoeing, giving out STDs because they mad and bitter? What about brothers who's out here doing the exact same thing? What about people who were just committing murder, committing rape? A lot of it be Israelites that do that stuff. But so what? Christ is going to come down, slay them, and then they'll be back? That makes no sense. And again, it's utterly contrary to Revelations, where it says this is the second death. And we know that the second death is the spiritual death. The spiritual death is eternal. And my thing is, question, why would, because now we everybody's dead. It said death and hell gave up, the what do you call it? The bodies. It says that everyone, both great and small, was going to be standing in front of the Most High, and the books were going to be open. Why the hell are we opening the books? You're going to make it anyway. Why are we open? Explain to me, okay, well, you were, if we're comparing your works to the law, you was wicked as hell. But come on in.
Toss the book out. Toss the book out. Come on in.
Come on in.
But you know what? I will say, and I can't speak to the character of every man, but I've never seen an Israelite that was serious about salvation and upholding the law to ever push that doctrine. I've never seen a Jake that was like, you want me to eat some pork? You don't have to kill me. I see Jakes that be bending the law, that find excuses, that pop up with tattoos, that pop up with shaved faces, that, get caught at Christmas dinners. Man, you think we all gonna get destroyed? Yeah. And so do you before you got persuaded. Now, what happened between then and now to your integrity to make you fall? I ain't never seen no righteous upholder of the law, because what would be the point of Christ making that sacrifice, or even Eleazar?
What was the point? Yeah.
Well, why was he like, send me to the grave because I refuse to be made a bad word? Because he just want a good name in the kingdom, wants to be popular? No, he like, man, I'm not giving up my soul this late.
My question is, why was the Maccabees trying to fight so damn hard? They could have just assimilated and been like, well, we still gonna make it into the kingdom.
Get our chance, man. We just got to let them rule for a little while, and we die. We already.
It is what
we
it
still
is.
Israel, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, they was willing to die for this law.
Because they knew this is what we supposed to be doing. This is how you gonna get your salvation. They ain't no, well, they knew that they were gonna get their salvation through keeping these laws. It wasn't a situation where, well, we're gonna be destroyed, but we'll be back. That's utter BS. And it's unfortunate, really quickly, and it's unfortunate that individuals are teaching that, because it breeds confusion, because you may have individuals, real talk, you may have individuals that aren't completely solid. Foundation ain't 100%. And you tell them this, and it's like, well, when they get put in a situation, where their integrity is tested, and they fold because they were taught wrong. They fold because it's like, well, it won't matter if I do that because, Most High, I'm going to still make it out of the way. That's foul. You can't do that.
Second Maccabees 12 and 43.
See that. The second Maccabees 12?
12 and 43. Because the crazy part is, I believe this was Simon or, no, Judas. So they went into battle. Some of the men had died. And they realized that they had idols on them in their clothing. And that was the reason why those men in particular had died and not everybody. And he offered a sacrifice so that they might have hope in the next life. If they was going to get into the kingdom regardless, there's no reason to even offer repentance. There's no reason to consider the soul. There's no reason to do anything but have a celebration and turn up because your dues is in the kingdom. Man, they already have to function. Like, let me hurry up and die.
He's in heaven with God now.
It ain't no point of sitting up here worrying about his soul or repentance. Like, oh man, lucky him. He got stabbed and I didn't. He up there partying.
I'm still here. It
don't make no sense.
It's foolish. You want me to read that? You said 43?
43 through 45, yes. Just going to talk about that.
Second Ezra 12 and 43.
Second Maccabees.
I'm sorry, Second Maccabees 43. And when he had made a gathering throughout the company to the sum of 2,000 drachms of silver, he sent it to Jerusalem to offer a sin offering.
So he offered a sin offering for these dead men. Go ahead.
Doing therein very well and honestly.
Genuine.
In that he was mindful of the resurrection.
So it's going to be a judgment. He said he was thinking about, man, the next life. Man, how he was thinking about their souls and their salvation and considering what they had done. He said, man, I found them dead with an idol on them. That was his last act, was trusting in another God besides the Most High. The bare minimum I could do for this man is put some money towards the church to be able to support the works in this man's name. Hopefully that's worth something. Because he said I'm mindful of the resurrection. Go ahead.
Verse 44. For if he had not hoped that they that were slain should have risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead.
He said if they wasn't going to rise again, it would be pointless of praying for them. But we know whether they got regenerated or whether they were to be judged. He said, here's something, hopefully that can gain you some mercy. You're going to make it into the kingdom either way. What's the point of offering anything?
Exactly.
They just going to make it. They going to, like I said, it's, the homies is at the function. I can't wait to go myself. He said, man, that's the last thing they did was trust in the idol. You trusted in the idol before battle. You took part of the prayers that we sent up. You took part in, all the things that were happening pre-battle on the side of the Israelites, went into battle and got slain. That's a horrible last work.
And what kills me, I'm reading this over, it says that he did it well in honesty in that he was mindful of the resurrection. So he knew that, spiritually they would return. Going back to Revelations 21 or 20, everybody going to wake up and everybody going to have to deal with this, right? Verse 44 says, for if they had not hoped that they that were slain should be risen again, it had been superfluous and vain to pray for the dead. So he's saying, well, if we weren't worried about these individuals being risen again, the whole thing is we're giving up this offering so when they're risen, they can make it into the kingdom. We're asking the Most High, begging the Most High to forgive them. So we're giving this offering for them that they can be forgiven and make it into the kingdom. They going to make it regardless, according to that doctrine. So this idol don't mean a damn thing. This is just something that the Most High was mad about, so he killed them in the flesh. But they going to make it into the kingdom. What you giving up offerings for? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Take me to Matthew 25.
34.
Yes.
Matthew chapter 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
So the righteous, they're going to make it to the kingdom. Which this also shows you something too, and I've said it a number of times. Keeping the law is half the battle. There's this thing called virtue. There's this thing called character. It said, when I was hungry, you came and fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. It said, when I had nowhere to stay, you brought me in. Basically saying you had a good heart. You had charity. You had righteous virtue. You had integrity, right? What verse are we at? 36.
Naked, and you clothed me.
Man, when I had no clothes, you looked out for me. You got me some clothes, read.
I was sick, and ye visited me.
Uh-huh.
I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
You showed forth this thing called integrity. You showed forth this thing called virtue, positive characteristic, positive character traits. These are the things that you show forth. So, what verse did I have you start at? 34. So watch this. In 34 it says, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom. So there's a certain type of character that you have to uphold. Okay, cool, you got your fringes on. Cool, you got your beard. Okay, cool, you keeping the Sabbath. But you selfish, you inconsiderate, you self-centered, you narcissistic, you're arrogant. Here's the thing. Watch this. Do you ever read in the law, thou shalt not be prideful? Do you ever read in the law, thou shalt be charitable? It has specific laws on, okay, yeah, you got to do this for the poor, that for the poor. Don't say, I don't have to get them no damn clothes. I don't have to do that. I don't have to let them stay in my house. But Christ is telling you something specific. You have character. You have virtue. You have integrity. Y'all gonna make it in the kingdom. It ain't just about it, keeping what people refer to as the Mosaic law. That's only half the battle. You got to uphold yourself a certain way to get in this kingdom. Because if you're an asshole, excuse my language, don't care about you wearing fringes, care about your beard, don't care about you keeping the Sabbath. You make the Most High look bad because everybody looking at, oh, that's God's people? This dude is a douche. This dude's an asshole. This dude's rude. This dude's disrespectful. You make the Most High look bad. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? So it says, y'all gonna make it into the kingdom because you did these particular things. You had character. You had a righteous spirit. Verse 37. Go ahead.
Then shall the righteous answer them, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink?
Mm-hmm.
When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison and came unto thee?
Mm-hmm.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Uh-huh.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand.
Now watch this. You're going to talk to the wicked, right? Read.
Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting.
How long?
Everlasting.
Temporary.
Everlasting.
Just for the moment.
Everlasting.
It ain't going to be that long.
Everlasting.
Uh-huh.
Fire.
Read.
Prepared for the devil and his angels.
Okay. And then actually read on. Read on. I want down to 43.
For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat.
Okay.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink.
Uh-huh.
I was a stranger, and ye took me not in.
Uh-huh.
Naked, and ye clothed me not.
In short, you do not exemplify what the Lord refers to as righteous virtue, righteous behavior. So I don't give a damn how long your beard is. I don't care how big your fringes is. I don't care that you keeping the Sabbath, because all of that is in vain because you have a foul, wicked spirit, just like Cain. Cain brought forth the sacrifice, did what he did. What did it say in John? He slew his brother because his own deeds were evil. That's why the Lord was not about to accept Cain's offering. He was a wicked individual. And then the Most High came to him and gave him a chance. He said, look, if you do right, won't you be accepted? So he told him, like, you're foul. Do better, and I'll accept everything that you bring to me. He said, but if you sitting up here pissed off, you ain't listening, blocking everything out that I'm telling you, sin's lying at the door. So, right here is telling you the same thing. And it said, how long was it going to be? Give me a 41 again.
Then he shall say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire.
Ooh. And that fire that they're getting thrown into is going to be forever. It's not temporary. It's not, oh, I'm going to be burning just for 100 years. It's not, oh, I'm just going to be burning for the next decade, couple decades. I'm coming back. No. He said, you're going to be in this eternal fire. This is an eternal judgment. Take me to Revelation. Revelation chapter 14. This lesson is going to be pretty short. We'll be done soon. Revelation 14. And I want verse 9.
Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
It says, so if any of you guys end up receiving the mark of the beast, right? Read.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
So the Most High is going to pour out his wrath on you. Talking about that Zechariah, talking about that Amos. He going to come down, he going to kill you. And that's what it's referring to. The same prophecies. You're going to be put to death, right? Read.
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
He said, "You ain't y'all drinking this straight."
I'm about to say that.
He said, "Y'all drinking this straight. Y'all ain't diluting this. This is hardcore, right?"
It hurts.
Yeah. He said, "Y'all finna catch this. No mix, no chaser." Read.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb.
Uh-huh.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever
Slow
and
down.
ever.
Slow down. And the smoke of their torment, they're gonna be. You're just gonna see a glimpse, meaning you're gonna see the smoke of what's going on over there in their torment. It's kind of like when you on the freeway, you like clearly something's on fire over there because I see that big black cloud of smoke, but I don't exactly see what's going on. I just know something is wrong over there. So it said you just gonna see the cloud, that big cloud of smoke. And how long is it going to be, burn?
Ascendeth up forever and ever.
For just a little bit and temporary.
Forever and ever.
For just a little moment.
Forever and ever.
Just so you understand, this is a forever thing. Ain't no Israel, you just going to get put to death. You're going to be slain, but, during the regeneration, you'll be back. No, it's not what it's talking about. Not in the slightest. Yeah, finish that up.
Who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Real quick, if I can. On a side note, this also explains that clearly the mark of the beast is not a chip or anything physical. Because when we're talking about those that are righteous and the children of Satan, if a man lived his whole life being genuine and took the chip, is his salvation over? And vice versa, if a wicked man living wickedly his entire life, but just doesn't trust the government, he never gets the chip. So now that man is going to make it into the kingdom just because
Absolutely.
he doesn't have the chip?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, that makes perfect sense.
And it says they're worshiping the beast. Doesn't literally mean you might pledge your allegiance to Satan. That's not necessarily what that means. But if you're not with the Most High, Christ said, he that is not with us is against us. He that is not against us is with us. So if you're not with the Most High, you're anti-Christ. You're at that point being wicked. So it doesn't have anything to do with you literally pledging your allegiance to Satan. You never pledged your allegiance to the Most High, Yahweh Shai.
Facts.
That's what makes you wicked.
It's that simple. And hold on, but who the hell cares? Because they'll get killed and they'll be back.
That fire burning forever.
They'll be back. Well, the fire will be burning forever, but it's almost like they're just going to respawn. Yeah, it's like the fire's still there. Nah. The gulag's always going to be there, but
not the gulag.
But somebody's going to make it out. But that's not going anywhere.
This doctrine is nothing more than an excuse to sin.
Wait, no. It's not, because here's the thing: if you really love the Most High, though, you're not going to do it, even though you can do it, because you're still going to make it to the kingdom. But who wants to get cut by the Most High and put to death literally by Yahweh Shai? Who wants to look at Christ in the face when he kills you? That's just going to hurt you, even though you'll be right back. Who wants that?
Even that would be irrelevant because the scriptures say the Most High will wipe all tears. He said, "I'll give
Yeah.
them a new covenant. I'll wipe all tears."
I forget about that too.
The remembrance of their old life shall be not. So even that is a moot point because we won't even remember the tragedies that we went through in this life.
Which is why we'll be in the kingdom. It makes sense.
Oh man, this doctrine is nothing more but an excuse to sin, an excuse to be wicked. And if you or anyone that you know is preaching that doctrine, scriptures say you're supposed to put your hands on them first. Now I ain't saying slap them, but man, if they don't repent, depart from them.
Get your life together. No, yeah, and the thing is, I mean, we make light of it, because to us it's like when you really just going through the scriptures and you reading the scriptures, you're like, this is impossible. This doesn't make sense. But no intentional disrespect to brothers, but we're trying to show you, and this is why we keep reiterating, well, it doesn't matter. So you can see, like, no, it does matter. It's a big deal. Give me excuse me. What did we just read? Matthew 25? I'm sorry, Revelation. Give me Daniel 12. I want Daniel 12 really quickly. Daniel chapter 12. And I believe that I want to start at verse 1. Let me double check. Daniel chapter 12. And yep, we're going to start at verse 1.
Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Where was Revelation? We saw that, right?
Written in the book.
Oh, so Michael's going to come down and save the people, right? This is a prophecy. This is talking about the end times. Watch this, though. Verse 2.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
So everybody that was dead already, your spirit's going to be awakened. You're going to be awakened, and you're going to be dealt with, right? Read.
Some.
Hold on. Some of them. Number of them is going to be what?
To everlasting life.
So some of them is going to be in the kingdom. They made it. They did what they were supposed to do. They were living righteously. They made it to the kingdom of heaven.
And some to shame and everlasting. Everlasting.
One more.
Everlasting.
Temporary.
Everlasting.
For the moment.
Everlasting.
Contempt. That's talking about that eternal hellfire. Just like when and this is what's so funny. When they tell you in court, I'm gonna hold you in contempt for whatever reason. That's what he's saying. You're gonna be in eternal judgment. That's what he's referencing when he says contempt. Eternal judgment. What the hell? What is that judgment? It's the eternal damnation, the eternal hellfire. And it's unfortunate because there's just a misunderstanding of Romans 11 and 26, because that's where they get the understanding. So all Israel will be saved. So that's the wicked, that's the righteous. No, it's not what it's talking about. You got something?
This definition of contempt.
Oh, okay.
The feeling with which a person regards anything considered mean, vile, worthless, disdain, scorn. The state of being despised, dishonored, disgraced. So not going to keep the commandments. You're going to get slayed. And, oh, man, this is embarrassing. Everyone else got the float up. I had to get killed to get here. It ain't talking about that. It's going to be an everlasting fire, everlasting contempt.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a problem. You're not keeping the commandments.
So, and what you have to understand is when you're... I know, right? According to... says law. According to, definition as it pertains to law, it says willful disobedience to or open disrespect for the rules or orders of a court. So it's the same thing with the Most High. Go ahead, brother. No, you good. No, you good. So we see, and it's the same thing with the Most High. It says you have basically disdained. You have basically completely disobeyed, openly disrespected. Because when you say, "Oh, we got to keep these laws, we'll make it to the kingdom regardless," the Most High is like, "Nigga, what? Did you not read what I wrote? Did you not read about the prophets? Did you not read when Christ came? Did you not read what Paul was telling the people? We're supposed to always be keeping the law, or not making it to the kingdom." So you sitting here openly telling people these things is just flat out disrespectful, and the judgment for that disrespect is eternal hellfire, eternal damnation. But what I want to do really quickly, because ultimately that's we've shown. Let's go back to Romans 11 and 26. So we can deal with this. So we've seen all through the scriptures, either there's a contradiction. Now, hear me out. Maybe the translators messed up. Maybe this book does have contradictions in it. Just maybe. Or maybe you interpret it wrong. Maybe you didn't understand the scripture. Right? Now.
Maybe they had itching ears seeking after a doctrine. Or after
or maybe it was prophecy.
You're right. Seeking after a teacher that suited or suit their lifestyles.
Facts. It's unfortunate, but that's real. So let's go back to Romans 11 and 26. We're going to touch this really quickly. 26.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
So all of Israel will be saved, including the unrighteous, right? Read on.
As it is written, there shall come out of Sion the deliverer.
So somebody's going to come and deliver all of Israel. Read.
And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
Now, is that exactly what it's saying? Even the wicked's going to be saved? Everyone's going to be delivered? All the wicked, the righteous, so on? No. We got to put this in context. Take me up to 24.
Verse 24. For if thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and wert graft contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles. So this is referring to the grafting in of the quote-unquote Gentiles, right? It's not literally the Gentiles of the nations. It's talking about the northern kingdom. You can get that in Ezekiel 37. You can even see in John 11, 51 through 52, where even the Pharisees refer to the other Israelites as Gentiles. So this is talking about the grafting process, but so many people get this confused and saying, well, the heathen can get grafted in. We can become spiritually Israel. No, 26 is going to clear it up for you. So he's saying, actually, before we get to 26, take me to 12. We're going to read 12 to 17.
Romans 11 and 12. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
So there's a point that's being made. He said, if the fall of, what is it, verse 12? If the fall of them be the riches of the world. So if the fall of Israel, mean everyone else, as we can see, everybody else is now on the come up. Everybody else is on top, we at the bottom. If the fall of Israel means greatness for the rest of the world, and then it says, and the diminishing, meaning the minimizing, the mitigating, the making them moot, whatever you want to call it. It says, if the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentile, how much more their fullness? It said, when Paul said, I'm taking away from you, I'm walking away from you now, and I'm finna go tell the Gentiles, quote unquote Gentiles, that they are the chosen, so they can understand, and we can graft them back in, as it says in Hosea chapter 1, and as it refers to, because the Most High referred to them as Gentiles and heathens throughout Hosea, because the northern kingdom was wicked as hell. So it said, Paul went back, because Hosea 1 and 10 said, but one day they're going to remember who they are. So Paul in his time started gathering them back in. And he said, now, we took away from y'all because y'all wasn't trying to get it together. The Jews, the southern kingdom. So we're going to go back. We're going to start bringing in the northern kingdom, right? And then it says, but it says, how much more will your fullness be if you start moving in righteousness? How much more as a unit will we be full and together, right? How much better would that be? Verse 13.
Verse 13. For I speak to you, Gentiles, and as much as I am the apostle of the Gentiles,
So again, these Gentiles is not talking about the other nations. Read.
I magnify mine office.
Read.
If by any means I provoke to emulation them which are my flesh.
Hold on. So now he's saying the whole reason I'm even coming to you guys right now is because I'm trying to provoke the southern kingdom to get their stuff together. He says I'm trying to provoke them to emulation. I'm trying to get them to mimic, to copy, to want to do and be what I am and what I am doing, right? Read.
Them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
And hopefully they get it together, they repent, and they see, no, Christ is the way. Oh, snap, Paul was never lying. Oh, snap, we now understand, right? Read.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be? But life from the dead.
Verse 16, pay attention.
For if the first fruit be holy.
So if the first fruit be holy, read.
The lump is also holy.
So the ones that Paul and everybody was going to originally, this is the first fruit. It said if they're holy, and everybody else gonna be holy. Problem is, they wasn't moving in righteousness. That's why Paul said, all right, y'all BS. I'm finna go start gathering the lost, right? They gonna hear me out. So, but it said if y'all was holy off the rip, everyone else would have fell in line, right? Read.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Said if the foundation being Jerusalem, the city of peace, foundation of peace, had the southern kingdom started off, or had the southern kingdom in this moment, in this point, had it together, it said if they was holy, then the branches, which were the extension of that, right, would have also been holy. Verse 17, watch this.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree.
It said, but if some of the branches, some of the extensions, some of the tribes be broken off, read.
And thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree. Boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
So now, as you continue to read, you're going to see a lot of references talking about the Gentiles, right? So this was clearing it up. Go to verse 25. So he gave this whole analogy, he gave this whole breakdown. He's sitting there talking to these brothers, right? Verse 25.
Verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this
He
mystery.
said, now, I don't want this going over your head. Maybe you missed what I said. Maybe this is going over your mind right now. Maybe this is too much. You know, I understand I'm educated. I understand that I'm intelligent. I understand that sometimes I speak. You know, even Peter said, he said, sometimes we don't know what the hell Paul talking about. It's hard to understand him sometimes. Dude, he started talking to you like he went to Harvard and he talking like this, and the rest of us looking like, yo, you have any idea what this nigga talking about? That was like, he way up here right now with it, right? So he said, I don't want y'all to be ignorant. I don't want y'all to not catch what I'm saying, right? Read.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits.
Unless you sitting up here miscomprehend what I'm saying, and you like, oh, yeah, I get what he's saying. He's saying, woo, woo, woo. He said, you wise in your own thought, but not in reality. You completely wrong, completely off. Read.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
So it says blindness, hold on, in part. So part of Israel is blind at the moment, right? Why?
Until the fullness of the Gentiles.
Until the fullness, go ahead, my bad.
Be come in.
So it says until the fullness of all the other Gentiles come in, referring to the other tribes. How do we know it's referring to the other tribes? Let's see verse 26. So it says, in part, Israel's been blinded because we need all the other Gentiles to come in. But when all the other Gentiles come in, then what's going to happen? Let's see verse 26.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
Snap. Read that again.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
He said, because remember, we was gathering Israelites amongst the heathen all the time. We was gathering Israelites amongst the heathen. Matter of fact, let's go real quick. John 11. Do me a favor, Yashimai. Kick off whoever that is in the comments.
God, I'm doing that right now.
God. Take me to, what did I say? John 11. And I want verse, where do we want to start? We'll start at 49. 49 to 52. Touch this real quick.
John 11 and 49. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and the whole nation perish not.
Read.
And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation.
So said Jesus is going to die for these Jews, for the nation, for Jerusalem, for the southern kingdom. But watch this. Read.
And not for that nation only.
Not only for the nation of Israel, so to speak. Watch this.
But that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
That were scattered abroad. So not just, literally, he's not dying just for the land of Israel. He's dying for those that are there. He's dying for the Jews there. It said, but he's supposed to die for the scattered as well. That's why Paul was out gathering the scattered. He said, I am what did he say? I'm a minister. I'm an apostle to the Gentiles. Not all the other nations. We was amongst the Gentiles. There's let me check John 7 really quickly because I think I wanted that as well. Go ahead. You got something?
No, I guess that's where they get the whole I'm a child of God thing, because it said I'm a die for these people and the children of God. So they be like, we don't know who that is. I'm a child of God.
Lie to yourself if you want to. That's why Acts 5 and 30 goes ahead and clears that up. He died only for Israel, right? Go to John 7 and 35. That's what I was looking for.
John chapter 7, verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go?
So he just sat up here and he gave them a whole parable, and he was talking and he got real poetic on them, and they was like, yeah, you know what he talking about? Jesus on that shit again. You know what he talking about?
No clue.
And they like, what? And so they're sitting up there looking at each other like, hey, where he going? Right, Reed?
Whither will he go, that we shall not find him?
So where he gonna go? He always been here. He been putting in work here. He been building us. So he going somewhere. He was talking about he was on a whole nother level at this point, and they just didn't comprehend it. Let's see where they thought he was going.
Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles?
And do what?
And teach the Gentiles?
Oh. Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles? So there was some dispersed people among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles. That's not talking about the other nations. It was the dispersed that were referred to as Gentiles. So the confusion comes in with Romans 11. Just touching it really quickly again. Romans 11, verse 26 is not the wicked of Israel and everybody else is going to be saved. No, it's not what it's talking about, because the wicked is going to get their judgment. That's it, and that's all. They're going to have eternal hellfire. That's thus saith the Lord, right? And then go to Romans, well, you already there. Read Romans 11 and 26 for me.
11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. Mm-hmm. There shall come out of Sion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So it's telling you, so the whole breakdown was when you read Romans 11, everyone gets confused about the grafting process. They're saying, oh, so that's how the other nations get grafted in. No, that's not what it's saying at all. That's why 26 clarifies. So he said, verse 25, for I would not, brethren, that you will be ignorant. So he told people before this happened, he said, look, I don't want y'all getting things twisted, because maybe you ain't catching my drift right now. He said, I will not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery. So he hit them with some deep stuff. It was a mystery, so to speak. Lest ye be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles. The Gentiles? Who's the Gentiles? Hold on, let me finish. And so all Israel. So he's making a point. He's now finishing his statement. He's now clarifying all of, where did it start? From like 11 and 11 all the way down. He's now clarifying this whole little parable that I just gave you about the grafting in process. Let me now finish my statement, and let me now have you to fully understand what it is that I'm saying. All of Israel, meaning all of the tribes of Israel. Because remember, 10 of them was done. Most High said, you don't mean a damn thing to me. He said, Ephraim been joined unto idols. Leave them alone. I'm done with them. I'm not dealing with them anymore. So blindness had to come to the southern kingdom. So Paul and them was going to head out and start gathering the scattered. Everybody who was all out. Because remember, again, in that time, if you wasn't born up under the law, the law of the Pharisees, if you wasn't born under the Mosaic covenant, you had to come in later and get circumcised. You had to come in later and just get into repentance. And now understanding, they were like, you ain't one of us. You ain't grow up like us. You different. You're a Gentile. Even Peter, he said, man, I used to call them common and unclean too. But the Most High told me I can't do that because these still our brothers. These still our people. So that's what it's referencing. 11 and 26 is not saying that all of Israel is literally going to be saved. 11 and 26 is not saying, oh, you're going to be put to death, but you're going to make it to the kingdom later, Israel, even if you was wicked. No. Because, again, it defeats the purpose. It gives everyone, when someone hits that crossroad, that crossroad of integrity, ain't nobody looking, huh? I know I'm supposed to go right, but I like what's there. Hold on. Oh yeah, we good. I'm gonna go this way. You're now, when they hit that crossroad, when they get hit with that, what is it called? That ultimatum. If they ain't strong, they're gonna fold. But if you're teaching them right, you explaining the importance of all of this stuff to them now, then they're gonna stand strong. But if you tell them, well, I mean, ain't nothing really going. I mean, yeah, Christ is gonna come down, he gonna kill you, but you gonna still make it. Oh, I'm still make it to the kingdom. Well, every time I commit a sin, well, I know I'm gonna still make it to the kingdom because I'm Israel. That's all that matters. No, that ain't how it works. So with that, that's pretty much the end of the lesson. Did you have anything before
I was thinking 2 quick points, and they're going to be lightning fast for people to reference. Because even if you think, like, for one, the scriptures already said that fire is going to be everlasting. The second thing to consider is Lazarus and the poor man, how when he died and he was in the lake of fire and he was hoping that the angel, or no, was it Moses? Who was he talking to?
Ooh, I don't remember who he was speaking to.
He was speaking to...
It wasn't Moses, though.
Wasn't Moses. He was... Whoever he was speaking to, and he said, go back to my family and help them. And he said, sorry, but there's a barrier where we can't come out of the kingdom. Y'all can't get out of there. I mean, even that. Stop right there. He already said, once you get tossed into that everlasting fire, don't make a sense to the fire to burn forever if it's not going to be used forever. He said, once you go in there, we can't pass this barrier. He said, I couldn't help you if I wanted to. Second small, quick little point to throw in, it said all Israel should be saved, but Romans 9 and 7 even told you all Israel is not Israel. He read on and said, them that are of the flesh. We all living in meat bodies. It ain't literally saying them that are living. He's saying clearly there's a distinction between them that are serving the Most High and them that aren't. Very simple. That's all I wanted to add, just real quick.
So, in short, the whole Romans 11 and 26 has absolutely nothing to do with literally all of Israel being saved. Because the wicked, all through the scriptures, we see the wicked of Israel, they gone. And it's going to be everlasting. This ain't no temporary thing. It ain't no, oh, it's just going to be for a couple thousand years. It's going to be for an eon. It's going to, whatever. No. That's it. That's all. That's the second death. That's eternal. So, got to go back, read the scriptures. The importance rather, of really understanding your scriptures. That's the importance of reading things in context. So yeah, scriptures say precept upon precept, but the verse above, 2 verses above, that still is a precept. You still have to read things in context. You must read things in context, or you're going to come up with all of these crazy doctrines, all these crazy understandings that are not, that would contradict the scriptures. Most High said, all my sinners are going to be put to death. Most High said, even Christ said, once the Most High said in Daniel that some are going to wake up to everlasting life and righteousness. Someone else, the wicked are going to wake up to everlasting shame and contempt. Christ said the same thing. Some people are going to make it into the kingdom. Others are going to be thrown in that everlasting fire. Okay, so how is it everlasting at one moment, but not literally everlasting? It's just for a while, and then you can come back into the kingdom.
Point is, it's outrageous.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So you have to understand. We have to put things in context. We have to really understand these scriptures. If you are confused, go back and read. Start at like verse 12 and read all the way down to 26. It's going to show you that it's talking about clarifying who the Gentiles were in the grafting process. It was Israel. It's that simple. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to close out. Make sure that you like the True Nation Israelite Congregation page, like the lessons, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, True Nation Israelite Congregation. Make sure you show love and share the content because we're trying to wake up the people. This is work that we're doing for our people to educate and edify our people in all sincerity and truth. Make sure to tune into the classes. Tuesdays, we got Bible Basics all the time. We're dealing with basic doctrines. We're dealing with the law. We're dealing with aspects of virtue. We're dealing with all the things that, as an Israelite, when you first coming in, you need to make sure that you locked in on. And brothers that's been in here forever, some things that you can refresh up on because you can never stop learning about these scriptures. So Bible Basics on Tuesdays. Wednesdays is always history, world history according to the Bible. Always want to lock in, tune into that. So you can learn your history. A lot of people don't know the history of the Bible. A lot of people be getting Bible figures mixed up, getting stories mixed up, misinterpreting things. Ton of history. Get that history, get that food, get that spiritual food. Friday is the opening Sabbath class. Make sure y'all tap into that. It's always one of the bishops, Bishop Isaiah, Bishop Yatab. And they always coming with it. Their lessons are usually what we refer to as the meat. They gonna get you right. And then, of course, lead Bishop Tiziah Wan on Saturday, who always brings some heat. You definitely want to tap into Bishop Tiziah Wan because he's always, as I say, bringing that soul food, that food for your mental. You need that. That's facts. You need that. So make sure that you tap in. Make sure that you tune in because we do this for y'all. And we try to make sure that we get this to y'all in all sincerity, sincerity and truth. And man, with that, we're gonna go ahead and we signing out. Brother Darash, this brother Shamar. Shalom.
Shalom.